Hi, AJ Hartley here, novelist, Shakespeare professor, fan of a lot of Japanese music, and today we have a new song from Glimpse-Banky, a Nagano-based duo. For some reason they haven't put up a full video. There are a couple of teaser videos, which I assume means that a video will be coming in the near future, but unfortunately we don't have anything to watch. We can just listen. Not a bad thing, focus simply on the sound. So let's give it a listen and see what you think. Okay, just before the vocal starts, let's just take a second to acknowledge that. And man, I love Glimpse-Banky. They have this really sort of retro analog sound, and I'm sure I'm going to say that many times in this video. They're the antidote to a lot of contemporary digital music. But I love this big stadium kind of sound, and you hear the sort of tympanic builds in between those little phrases where we suddenly get that crescendo. You can feel the sort of excitement of the thing building. I really like that.
気づいているだろう繰り返しなんてバッ予感がするなら疑うなよ手放すなよどこからか未来が僕らを誘っている気分はどうだって
I love that. So Remy's voice always has this quite gritty, throaty, raspy, and slightly nasal qualities, reminiscent of something like Janis Joplin. And so it's got that sort of stripped down raw. It has a real 70s kind of feel to it, I think. Let's talk about the words. The song is called Shodo, which means impulse. I was going to say instinct, but impulse is better. Though little the association between the two words, I think, go together. So she starts off by saying, repetition is bad, and she uses the word bad. It comes up a couple of times in the song. And then if you have a premonition, don't doubt it, don't ignore it, don't let it go. The future is inviting us from somewhere. How are you feeling, right? Kubun wa dodo te. How's it going? How are you feeling about it? But it's about feeling. It's about gut. And I think that's kind of the point of the song. Trusting your instincts.
立ち上がればあなたが日が昇る周波数はそう鼓動に合わせて飛び込んでく未開の果てまでも調子グルーブを伸ばして自由自在にスキル動かしていくのはショート
I love that sort of bluesy feel, right? Sometimes Glimpse-Banky, especially in recent years, have had a very psychedelic kind of sound, and sometimes they have this sort of country rock sort of tonality to them as well. But here we're getting that real bluesy sort of hard edge where the voice and the guitar are kind of balancing each other and doing that sort of slide between the sort of half notes to get that. This is a great song. This is the chorus. Tachi agare ba arata no yo ga noboru. If you stand up, a new sun will rise. And she goes on to say, frequencies in the tune. The frequency is in tune with your heartbeat. Tobikonde ku mikai no hate maremo. You'll jump into the sort of the edge, the no man's land, which has not been explored, the sort of terra incognita. Choshi I guruvu o mawashite. That guruvu with you'll be driven by a good groove, right? And the last line, Tsuki ugo kashite iku no wa shodo. You're moving freely, you're driven freely by your impulse. The title of the song is Shodo, Impulse. So the whole song is about getting in touch with your gut, feeling, and all the images are very bodily, right? Heartbeat, and this sort of the sense of picking up, of intuition, feeling, impulse. It's very sort of physical, and I love this because I think it goes really well with the sound of the song. Oh, it's so great. I love this. So we get that again, that sort of stadium feel. This would be a great song to see live in a big arena, right? So again, as the first verse said, repetition's bad. If you believe looking back is bad, then you should pretend to be relaxed and let it overtake you. Let it roar through you. Let's go anywhere. I want to challenge myself without stopping, not holding back. In the way that I'm good at, tokuina hohode, right? This is what I'm good at. So I'm trusting my gut, my instinct, to move forward in spite of maybe what my brain is telling me. Again, I'm trusting my instincts to get me through.
立ち上がれば遮るものはない回転数はそう鼓動に任せて目まぐるしく塗り替わる日々の中最新のモードで転がせ少しずつでも明日を変えられるのはショート
I love the way that guitar, the full guitar sound is augmented by what sounds like a brass section. I don't know if it's a synthesizer, it might be, but it feels very big. It's an almost orchestral kind of sound. So into the chorus part, if you stand up, there's nothing to stop you. Again, follow your heartbeat. And then Memagurushiko Nuri Kawaru Hibi no Naka. So Hibi no Naka. In the middle of changing days, keep rolling in the latest mode. Even if it's just a little bit at a time, it's an impulse that will change tomorrow. Again, shodo is that impulse. That's what's going to move you forward. That's what's going to change. So you need to sort of go with the flow, right? That's the gist. Keep hold of the fact that don't get panicked by the fact that things are changing. Embrace that change and move on through it.
どうしてこの時に望んで立ち向かうの振り落とされないように捨てて手にしたゼロを自分に変えて君を君にするのはショート
Man, I love the way that little middle eight segues into the pre-chorus, and the sound completely shifts, and we get an entirely different melodic range. I love the way bands like this embrace the tunefulness, right, and the experimental impulse to sort of shift things up a bit and go in a different musical direction within the song. Why do I hope and stand up against this sort of revolving, this sort of circle of time, the sense of things moving around me? I'll face it willingly so that I won't be thrown off. I throw it away, pick it up again, turning 0 to 10. And then this is maybe the key line of the song. Kimi o kimi ni suru no wa shodo. It's impulse that makes you, you. makes you who you are. The thing that defines you more than anything else is your gut feeling. It's not stuff coming from outside you. It's not what people tell you. It's not what you simply rationalize or figure out intellectually. Your core being is expressed most clearly through this kind of almost preternatural instinct, the impulse, something that you feel that you maybe can't even articulate, but that's what you do to sort of shake off all the kind of pressures and the things crowding in on you. And can I just say, can you hear how the sound mirrors the concept of the song, right? Again, when I said at the beginning, it's great not to have a lot of digital polish and ornamentation and high production. This is not doing that. There's something very organic about it, which makes sense given that that's what the song is about. The song's about trusting your feelings, trusting your instincts. You use the force. That's what it is, right? So it has that very sort of mid-70s kind of pre-digital feeling to it. So it's appropriate that the sound is like this.
立ち上がれば全ては動き出す周波数はそう
You hear that bass there? That sort of chunky, little sort of wobbly, it's got a little wah-wah pedal on it or something, I don't know.
あなたが合わせて何回でも迫り来るクライシスを最強の直感でかわしていこうぜもっと
I love the way that the voice just sort of cranks things up, you know. 立ち上げれば全ては動き出す If you stand up, everything will start moving with you, right? Frequency is yours. Everything's moving to your frequency, so you have to match it. 何回でも迫り来るクライシス or no matter how many times a crisis approaches, 最強の直感でかわしていこうぜもっと we will avoid it with the strongest of instincts, right? So no matter, we trust our gut. When bad things come at us, we follow our instincts. Motto means more.
立ち上がれば新たな日が昇る回転数はそう鼓動に合わせて飛び込んでく
Brass again.
未開の果てまでも調子いいグルーヴを回して自由自在に僕らを動かすのは突き動かしてくのは衝動
I love the way that the final verse gives us that extra line so that it's we're caught slightly off balance at the end. We think we know where it's going to finish, and then we get the extra line. So again, if we stand up, a new sun will rise. The rotation speed of the sun is in sync with our heartbeat. We jump into that uncharted territory with a good groove. We move freely. And then, bokura o ugokasu no wa. What moves us, again, she uses that sort of generally masculine plural pronoun, bokura. What moves us, what drives us, tsuki, ugokashite, iku no wa shodo, is impulse. That's what moves us forward. That's what holds us together. That's what keeps us going. It's great. Nice. I love the hard ending, right? Sometimes bands have a tendency to do this sort of repeat and fade because we don't know how to finish the song, so I'll just let it trail off. Now, we get to the point, bang, finish. This would be a great song to see live. I saw them in Kanazawa a couple of years ago, and they were terrific. I wish they had a wider audience. I feel like there's a natural audience for them in the US, which they haven't quite found, and I don't think they've ever toured here. I keep hoping that they will, but the conditions for foreign acts touring in the US are getting worse all the time. I don't know if you saw, but there was a whole bunch of new legislation passed, massively increasing, like 250% increase on the visa applications for each person involved, specifically for traveling artists and musicians. It's going to really, really hurt the smaller and mid-sized bands coming from overseas. It's going to become very, very expensive to come to the US. So it's just, sort of predictable given where we are, but maddening nonetheless and disappointing. As I said, the Glimspanky have done a couple of little teaser videos, but not a complete video for the song yet. I'm assuming one is coming because the teasers look like outtakes from some larger piece. It doesn't look like something that's cobbled together to release as a promo thing. It looks like there's an actual video. So that'd be cool to see. But it is kind of nice to actually focus just on the sound. And I strongly recommend these guys, if you're not familiar with them, that they have a range of sound. Some of it leans a little bit more jazzy. Some of it leans, as I said before, towards a kind of country rock. And some of it is very sort of 60s, 70s psychedelia and hard rock. But they are consummate performers, great instrumentalists, and I think they're absolutely worth your time. So check them out, Glimspanky. Great band. That's all I'm going to say for now. As ever, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out my books, of course. And I keep saying this, I will have more information about new releases coming out this year. I'm just waiting for all the ducks to align before I can say what's going on. And particularly about both stuff that I'm doing with Tom DeLonge and with the Hideki Smith series, including the Japanese edition, which will be coming out this year. Check out my Patreon page, which is where you will find out fastest about everything going on in my career and my life. That's also where people get to see these videos first, and it's how this channel stays functional because it is otherwise unmonetized. So that's all. Check out my little Dashery store, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.